get out, I run over to the car. I can't believe it, because at this point, the car hadn't... What's up, guys? It's Scat Action back at you guys with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Scat Pack. I know it's been a minute since we've been on YouTube. They're having some issues with the Scat, man. So I'm going to get right into it. As always, like and subscribe to the video. Without further ado, so the last few days, been having issues with the battery. It was last week, I believe it was like Sunday or so. Got off work, came outside. Got in the car, pressed the push to start, nothing happened. A click, I think the first time it clicked, and after that, nothing. I'm like, all right. Sat there for a second, put my foot back on the brake, pressed the button, nothing. So I'm like, maybe I need a new battery. I have noticed recently, the last few weeks, it was a little bit slow to turn over, so I already kind of knew in my mind, well, at least I figured, that I was going to need a battery here soon. So I jumped it, put a jump box on it. It started right up. I'm like, all right, I need a battery, no big deal. I'll go get a battery tomorrow. So fast forward to the next day, I go to Costco, I put an AGM battery. I actually went in and put a little bit bigger battery than what comes from the factory. I think the factory is like 600 or 750 cold cranking amps. And the battery that I put in there was like 850. It was just a bigger battery. It was for the car, but it's just more power, I guess, from the way the guy explained. So I picked that up, put it in the car. The car still kind of, it started up, but it still was kind of slow. I'm like, all right, I'll put a new battery in here, so I shouldn't have any more issues. But nevertheless, it started. I drove around the block just to charge the battery. And this is the new battery I'm talking about. Drove around the block, no issues. Turned the car off, turned it back on, turned the car off, turned it back on, just to make sure it worked, no issues. The next morning, I hit the push to start, and nothing. Let the garage up, thinking that maybe I didn't press the button twice. Nothing. Get in the car, nothing. Same thing as usual. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Maybe I have an alternator problem. Maybe the alternator is not charging the battery when I was driving around. That's what I was thinking. So I went and put the battery charger on the battery. Put the battery charger on it. Nothing. I put my voltmeter on there. I'm still getting 12.6 volts with the car off, which is more than enough for the car to start. So I'm like, I'm baffled at this point. I have no clue as to what's going on with the battery or what's going on with the car. So I figured I would just let the battery charger sit on. I'm like, maybe I need to just let the battery charger sit on it. Kept the battery charger on the batteries. Came back maybe 6 or 7 hours, nothing. So at this point, I'm kind of starting to panic, low key. I knew I still had a warranty on the car, but we all know how that goes with the basic warranty. Dodge is going to do anything to get out of that warranty. So I called Dodge, let them know what was going on. They're like, yeah, your car's still under warranty. You only got 32,000 miles, and I haven't quite hit the 3-year threshold for the warranty, so I would have been good with that. At least that's what I thought. And I explained that the car is not starting. I put a new battery in it, so I know it's not the battery. At that point, I couldn't check the alternator or the starter, so I'm thinking maybe the alternator is going up. Maybe it's a premature failure of the alternator or the starter. Because believe it or not, on my 2017 Charger RT, I don't think I ever made a video on it, but the starter went out in that car like 35,000 miles, which was crazy. Starter went out, put a starter on there, no issues. And this was the same type thing that I did with that. Drove it somewhere, the car wouldn't start. I'm thinking it's a battery, so AutoZone was across the street at that point. Bought a battery, nothing. Had to get it towed, it turned out to be the starter. That was my RT, my 2017 RT that I had a couple years ago, the red one that's on the page. But anyways, nevertheless, I get it towed. They towed my car into Witten dealership. We get there, I explain everything to them. Also remind you, I forgot to tell y'all, I also do have a sound system in the back, which I don't know if that contributes to some of the issues I'm having or not. I have a Scar Audio 15 VXF 1500 RMS and two batteries, two 1200 watt audio batteries in the back, and they're all wired, so they're all connected to each other in the back. I'll show y'all a video of that as well. It's a decent sound system. I got a highs amp, a subwoofer amp. I think in total, everything is like it's like a 5,000 watt sound system. I've never had issues. So I've had sound systems in every car. You have issues here and there, but I've never had this type of issue. So I assumed that it probably wasn't that. So yeah, we towed it. I get the car towed in. We get it to the dealership. They tow it in the parking space. He drops the car down. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. I bring my key inside and I explain everything. They're like, is anything aftermarket on the car? And I'm like, yeah, I have an audio system. And they're like, yeah, it's not going to, I can tell you right now, most likely the warranty is not going to cover it. So that already tells me no matter what was wrong with the car, they're really going to try to pin it back down to my audio system being the culprit of whatever the issue was going to be. So I already knew at this point, like, I'm going to be screwed and be left with whatever they find out. So I figured, why not go out one last time? I had a spare key on me because I gave him my key initially. Why not go out and just try one last time to see if it starts up? I drive up, pass it, hit the remote start, fires right up. Whoa. Y'all know how our cars get. Fire right on up. And I'm like, there's no way. I get out, I run over to the car. I can't believe it because at this point the car hadn't started in like 2 or 3 days. It's just been sitting 2 or 3 days. This is after I've charged a new battery, all of that, nothing. I turn it off. I'm like, there's no way it's gonna start right back up again. I pressed the button this time, put my foot on the brake, pressed the button. She fired right on up. At this point, I'm like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. I done got a tow here and everything. Apparently the tow was covered through Mopar as well, but we'll talk about that later. Turn it off, turn it on, turn it on. I do that like 2 or 3 times just to double check that, to verify that it's not gonna turn off on me. There's an O'Reilly's right down the street, so I get in the car, I go to O'Reilly's. Believe it or not, the car ran a lot better too. Not that it wasn't running good before I had this issue, but I guess because the battery was disconnected and all of that stuff, everything had a chance to reset. So the car ran amazingly. Amazing throttle response. Just to pick up, everything was good. I guess that was just because I disconnected the battery. I don't think that had anything to do with what was going on. Took it to O'Reilly's. They checked the alternator, the starter, and battery. He said everything is good. Your battery's in good condition, your alternator's in good condition, your starter's in good condition. And just to double check, I asked him if he could do it twice. He did it twice, same thing, everything passed. So just for good measure, I then took it down to AutoZone down the street and had the same test done. Starter, battery, alternator, everything was good. So I'll be honest, at this point, I'm kind of baffled as to what the issue was. I know some people were saying after they replaced the new battery in their car, they had to unplug it for a few minutes and plug it back up. I did that a couple times and the car still didn't start initially. So I'm not sure what was causing that. I have no clue. Also having an issue, I don't know if it's a battery voltage, I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on. But even with the new battery, typically my battery voltage would be around 14, 14.1, 14.2. And even with the old battery for the last 6 or 7 months, when I'm driving, it stays around 13.4 to maybe 13.6 to 13.7. And sometimes I'll get out of the car and get back in and it'll just magically be at 14.0. Or 14.0, 14.1, and it plays around that ballpark. Obviously, when the music is hitting, it drops down. So I was just thinking at that point that maybe I needed, you know, a new battery this whole time, and I just figured that I was slowly killing my old battery. It was like, it's only a matter of time before I need to upgrade batteries. But this is a brand new battery and it's doing the same thing. So, like I said, the alternator is good. Everything's good. I have no clue. So if anybody that's watching this video might have an idea as to what's going on with the battery voltage, definitely let me know. I read a couple forums online. Some people was having the same issues with the battery voltage. It doesn't seem like anybody can figure out exactly what's going on with it. So without further ado, I mean, technically the Scat was broken for a week, and even now I still don't know exactly, you know, what the culprit was. So hopefully the car continues to start up when I hit it and I have no issues. possibly be the issue. I also checked all my grounds too. Some people be saying, make sure you check all your grounds. Everything is tight. The battery terminals, all of that stuff was tight. Yeah, so that's where we at. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. I know it's been a minute. This is the first video in probably like 9 months to a year. You can get on here more. We're detailing videos about the Scat, just videos in general. And yeah, with that, I'm out, guys. Deuces.